Hi, my name is Lindsey Russell. I'm a freshman pre-nursing major here at the University of Arkansas, and I've decided to research a beautiful Van Gogh painting called La Maison de la Crau, which means the Old Mill. Just a short 40-minute drive from campus leads me to Crystal Bridges, a world-renowned modern art museum. Its current exhibition is Van Gogh to Rothko, masterworks from the Albright Knox Art Gallery, and is the home of my final project. La Maison de la Crau was painted in 1888 after Van Gogh moved to Arles in southern France. It is an oil painting on canvas. He was inspired by the simple life the people of Arles lived by. During his time there, the majority of his paintings were landscapes, and they were often spots that were not frequently visited by tourists. Perhaps this mill was one location that Van Gogh considered to be a hidden gem that expertly presented the simplicity and lifestyle of his new home in South France. Vincent van Gogh was born in 1853 in Holland into a religious family. His life as a professional painter began when he was 27 years old, after his heart was broken by his first love. In the beginning of his career, his paintings were dark, but he soon brightened his color palettes after newfound inspiration from techniques used by Impressionists. Some of his most famous pieces of art include Starry Night, Sunflowers, and The Potato Eaters. 2 years before his death, Van Gogh developed signs of mental illness. Many modern-day physicians and psychiatrists believe he may have suffered from bipolar disorder, temporal lobe epilepsy, lead poisoning, or sunstroke. On July 27, 1890, Van Gogh attempted suicide by shooting himself in the chest and died 2 days later. During these 10 years, he made about 1,600 drawings and paintings. The Old Mill is comprised of mostly straight lines and brushstrokes. Hard edges separate the mountains from the sky and the buildings from the rest of the landscape. The sky and the water are the only places where Van Gogh used curved brushstrokes to create depth and movement. Even though most of the lines just look like straight lines, if looked at closely, one can determine that Van Gogh had variation in the lengths of his brushstrokes. Long lines were used for the fence posts, and short, thin, sprayed brushstrokes for the plants and greenery around the mill. The colors he used are brighter than what they should realistically be. He often expressed emotion through the use of color, as demonstrated by the vivid blues, purples, greens, and even bright browns in the Old Mill. Psychoanalysis is an art methodology that can be used to determine why Van Gogh painted the Old Mill how he did. In the 19th century, neurologist Sigmund Freud developed a branch of psychology called psychoanalysis. It focuses on how unconscious feelings and dreams play a role in how people live their lives. The vibrant colors in La Maison de la Crau represent his joy and contentment that he felt while residing in the countryside. In the beginning of Van Gogh's life, his paintings were very dark, but as he discovered his calling as an artist, his paintings began to brighten. This increase in color can be attributed to Van Gogh's newfound pleased attitude. Van Gogh was a major post-impressionism painter. Post-impressionists were attracted to vibrant colors and distinct brushstrokes. The edges of subjects in the painting are very clear, unlike those of Impressionist painters, which are more smudged. These aspects are very clearly seen in La Maison de la Crau. The people in the mill are distinctly separated from the landscape, and the mountains are distinctly separated from the sky. The grass in the foreground of the painting has long, visible brushstrokes of different colors instead of being one color and indistinguishable. After his time spent in Paris, Impressionists inspired him. Impressionists painted with small brushstrokes and light color. To Van Gogh, this could have been seen as a nice transition from his dark paintings. He took baby steps that led him to the bright and vibrant colors in his pieces of art that can be recognized today as classic Van Gogh art. Van Gogh expressed emotion through colors and content in his paintings. This is a common characteristic of post-impressionist painters. There was also a focus on making portions of Impressionist art abstract. La Maison de la Crau can easily be described as abstract since it features borderline blurred images due to unrealistic colors, lines, and shapes. It is not considered to be an exact photograph of the mill, but instead Van Gogh's interpretation. Van Gogh is someone that I've studied in school and heard about since I was little. To make a video presentation just feet away from such a famous painting is an incredible experience. Not only was I drawn to the name of the artist, but also the style of painting was familiar to me. I was immediately drawn to the colors and lines because it reminded me of the art my grandmother has in her house. She paints a lot in her spare time and is actually very good. The majority of her pieces are abstract with bold colors and unconventional lines. I was drawn to the familiarity of La Maison de la Crau and decided that would be a best fit for my research paper.